Welcome to Hoops High, Chicago's leader in youth-produced sports broadcasting and youth media education. Hoops High is produced by high school students learning the skills of professional broadcasting. Hoops High is the flagship program of Free Spirit Media and is made possible in partnership with After School Matters, the Chicago Public Schools, and Chicago Access Network Television. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hello, everyone.
You are watching HoopsHIGH. Remember, you can watch HoopsHIGh every Saturday at 8 p.m. on CAN TV, Channel 19, for all the hottest sports around.
I'm Kimberly Stewart here serving as your play-by-play announcer.
I'm Delia Engelbani, and I'll be serving as your color commentator.
We're here at Collins Academy, located at 1313 South Sacramento. And we have CYDI facing off against Marine Academy today. CYDI in the white, Marine Academy in the black. Backcourt violation count against CYDI.
What I learned today, Kimberly, is that number 1, Davion Rogers, is a 7th grader. Did you know that? I was confused as to why he's so small, but now I know why.
He's playing with the big dog, so that must tell you something about him.
And he hold his weight.
Number 3 taking it in and looking for a good find. The big man in the paint. Number 7 for CYDI. Shot is off the mark. Rebound by number 3 from CYDI. He dishes it in. And number 3 with the assist of his own. Number 5 with it, kicks it back out to number 3. Number 1 with it, kicks it to number 2.
They got some good ball rotation going on.
And the ball is turned over. Henry having last possession of it from Marine Academy.
I'm sorry, Kim.
No problem, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. HoopsHIGH is produced by high school students who are learning the skills of professional broadcasting. All of the camera work, announcing, directing, as well as engineering is done by us, the students. Rio Bush, number 5 for CYDI, put in that layup on the last play.
After the missed three-point attempt by number 2, Ernest Tyler.
But you already knew that.
Speaking of
Davion
Ernest,
Rogers attempted to put the layup in. He missed that. No rebound.
number 5 kicking it back out. Ernest, number 2 with it, kicks it to number 1, and the three-point attempt is off.
It's no good.
Put back by number 7. He's shooting the first free throw for his team, and that's off the mark. Attempt tipped back by number 3, and he was not successful. James Johnson. Number 2. Mr. V with it. He's double teamed. He kicks it to number 3. Donald with it. Number 1, Davion swings it back to Mr. V. Number 2 for the 2, and it's off the mark. Offensive rebound by number 5, Dwayne Ward, and he puts it in there. Bringing his team only down by 2. Scores 8-6 with 12 left. CYDI in the lead. Number 3 with the rebound.
Free Spirit Media strives to give youth a voice so they can inform and inspire others. Thank you for supporting our work. I'm not going to cut you off anymore, Kim, okay?
We're gonna work through this.
Okay. Jesus gonna work it out.
If you let him. And the 3 is good by CYDI.
Number 7 was thirsty to put that back up. There we go. Good cleanup crew.
Speaking of cleanup crew, on the previous play before that shot, number 5 from the Marine Academy put a bucket in. Dwayne Ward, yet again, that's his second on the past 2 possessions. First free throw is up and it's off the mark. Dwayne will be shooting one more. Second one is in now.
I didn't think he was going to make it. His arms was like so sloppy.
Number 3 bounce passes it to the wing. Number 2 gives it back to number 3. Number 1 with it. They're just swinging. Number 3 driving. Tries to kick it in to the inside man, and he is unsuccessful.
Unsuccessful. Number 2, Vicente. That's his name, Kim. V is short for Vicente.
Mr. V. And back to the line again, number 5.
And we are going to toss it to our sideline reporter at this moment.
Game update. So far, the game is going good. The score is 11-9 with 9 minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock. Everybody's going pretty good. I believe it is Marine Academy versus CYDI. If you would like to stay updated, please stay tuned for more HoopsHIGH. Thank you.
And thank you for the great game update. Back with more game action. Ball CYDI's way. Deflected by one of the Marine Academy players.
I'm going to stop calling everybody fumble fingers. I'm going to just switch it up, butter fingers, because some of the stuff that goes on the court is just like
I can't believe it's not butter.
Right. There we go. I can't believe it's not butter. Like that 3 that almost went in, that danced its way out. Like, something going on.
Yeah, I seen that some of the guys warming up earlier, and that's his range. He feels comfortable back there.
CYDI is at the line. Number 3 misses that first free throw. Y'all should know that these are the type of things that don't make me happy.
Not at all. Second free throw.
It's not in there.
He can't get used to coming up so short. Number 3 from Marine Academy puts up the shot in this, and Donald Harris. Bringing it back down, we have number 3, James, for his own 3, and that's in
He redeems himself for those 2 missed free throws.
CYDI is now back in the lead, 2 points, scores 14-12. Just under 8 minutes left. Number 2, Mr. V with it. Kicks it out to number 6, Jimmy. Jimmy loses the ball.
Butterfingers.
Number 6.
Three-pointer is no good. CYD has 3 fouls, now 4 fouls, and the Marine Math and Science Academy has currently 2 fouls.
Yes. Just 7 minutes left in the first half. Marine Academy bringing the ball down. Number 3, Donald Harris with it, with another shot.
He tries
and
to
he's
drive.
blocked. The ball is blocked right back into his hands as he's jumping out of bounds. CYDI. Number 21 brings it down. Number 3 he kicks it to, back to number 21. I'm sorry, number 11.
That was a messy pass.
The ball was tipped so many different ways.
What we do know is that CYDI loves screaming and ones. That's what we know.
Unfortunately, when the ball does not go in the basket,
It doesn't look good.
at the line we have number 9, Chris. His first free throw was in there.
Good, 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 good.
We have some subs. Number 10 coming out. Marcellus coming in for him. Number 8, Henry. And the second free throw was in there.
HoopsHIGH is the flagship program of Free Spirit Media and is run in partnership with After School Matters, the Chicago Public Schools, as well as CAN TV. This is a team effort all around, and we are truly grateful for your support of our partners who make this possible.
We thank you. With it, number 8, Henry with it. Kicks it to number 3 for his shot, and it's off the mark. No good by Donald.
No good.
Offensive rebound and the N1 from number 8, Henry.
Henry.
And if you were listening, Henry was just subbed in on the previous play when it was CYDI's ball. And he comes in and he gets a rebound, an N1. Let's see if he can make this free throw.
No good.
And he doesn't.
CYDI almost was fighting each other over the ball.
Number 6 with it. He kicks it to number 3. Number 3 for a 3. And it's off the mark.
Couldn't pull it through this time.
James needs to slow down. Number 2, Mr. V for his own 3. It's off the mark. Ooh.
Ooh.
Some shaking and baking.
That's what I like to see. A little rocking and rolling out there.
James trying to redeem himself. Ooh.
Knock that down. I like that. I like all net shots.
In the shot back, Curtis Henry, number 6 from CYDI. Mr. V, number 2, kicks it to number 3, Donald. He takes the top of the key. He shakes and bakes, kicks it out to number 8.
No good.
His shot is off. Henry thought he was on the roll.
No good.
Everybody's trying to shoot today. Number 6 misses his shot.
I think I have an idea of what the huddles at halftime are going to be looking like. But I'll hold my tongue for then. Can I do that?
We don't want people thinking that you're psychic or anything, get to scaring them.
Okay.
Ball deflected out of bounds. CYDI's way.
3:35 on the clock.
Number 11, Jaquez kicks it to number 3, who loses it. Number 6 goes back. Curtis Henry regains it. Number 3 kicks it to the big man, number 7 for the deuce, and it's off.
Keep up with the game action and the HoopsHIGh crew with Twitter. Just search HoopsHIGh FSM and follow us. No spaces, no underscores, periods, just HoopsHIGh FSM.
Number 7, first free throw is in there for Robert. Mr. Northern's second shot is up and it's in there as well. Just 2.5 minutes left in the first half. Score is 19-14. CYDI holding on to that 5-point lead. Number 8.
The Marine Math and Science Academy's coach was not happy about that previous call at all.
Yeah, Henry's call with the charge. Bringing it up for CYDI, we have number 3. James kicks it to number 2 for the 3, and it's off the mark. Big rebound by number 5, Dwayne. Number 3 driving. He misses. Offensive rebound. And he's fouled. Number 3, Donald Harris. Number 8 will be going back to the line. Henry Moore. His first shot is in there.
Yes, that's what I like to see.
He dribbles and he dribbles. Second shot is up and it's in there as well.
Marine Math and Science Academy coach calls a timeout.
And with that being said, we're going to toss to a quick PSA.
Wait, let me put my phone up.
Lack of water is the #1 trigger of daytime fatigue.
When you take a step, you're using up to 200 muscles.
It doesn't matter if you're an athlete or not.
Kim, get off your phone.
Take every advantage.
If you train hard, you'll not only be hard, you'll be hard to beat.
This is Derrick Rose from the Chicago Bulls, and you're watching Hoops High.
And we're back with more Hoops High action. If you're just tuning in, we have CYDI taking on the Marine Academy here today at Collins, located at 1313 South Sacramento. It's a minute 12 left in the first half, and it's not too late to stop by.
Number 3 with a no-look pass.
And he should have looked.
Now, number 7 got it when he passed it off to, what was that?
Number 1 with his own 3, he's off. Number 5, Marine Academy, regains the offensive rebound. The drive by number 3 was no good. The tip in by number 5 was no good, but the putback from number 8 was in there.
We've seen a lot of attempted dunks, but we haven't seen a lot of dunks actually happen.
Yes. Number 2, Ernest with it. His shot is blocked. Number 5 regains it. He puts his own shot up. It's off. Offensive rebound by number 3, who draws the contact. James will be going to the line. This will be the last shot for the first half. Clock winding down at 10 seconds.
Hopefully he makes this one.
It's up and it's in now.
Yes, the ball god is on his side.
Ball guy. Second shot is up and it's off the mark. Maybe the guys should have stayed on the line for the second shot. That would have gave him some encouragement.
Yes, that's what I feel like. I felt like he didn't want to shoot the shot because he had no friends over there or something.
Friends.
How many of them have us? Friends. I think I sung it wrong. I think it's supposed to be friends. How many of us have them? Is that how it goes?
Ones he can depend on.
Okay, well, we have friends. How do I know? Because I'm about to toss it to one of mine, our sideline reporter.
Brianna Brown, I'm here with the coach for CYDI. So, Coach, how do you think your team is doing on defense out there?
We're not playing very good defense. We're not rebounding like we should.
So who would you say your two main, you would say 2 key players is right now?
Probably Derrick and Rob. We need them to play harder defense.
So what do you think they could do in the second half to come out and, win?
Well, as a team, we need to block out. We're not blocking out as of now. That's why it's only 2018.
Okay, if you would like to stay updated, please stay tuned. You can watch us on Channel 19. Thank you.
But you know what? I don't have no beef with on this guy. Shaw's on the bed grill. They be getting it cracking. What are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about. You repeat what I said. Nah, I'm too cute for that.
What up, y'all? This is Common, and you're watching Hoops High.
Should I send this pic? Do I trust him?
It's in your sleep.
12% of teen girls say they felt pressure to send sexual messages or images. Follow your inner voice.
What's up? This is Ben Gordon. You're watching Hoops High.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Moore.
And I'm Michael Ingram.
And this is your Hoops High halftime show.
Watch it or watch nothing.
Please check out the Free Spirit Media website at www.freespiritmedia.org to learn what Free Spirit Media is all about. Or you can check us out on YouTube. Search Free Spirit Media to view our YouTube channel.
And if you're just tuning in, I'm Kimberly Stewart, serving as your play-by-play announcer.
And I'm Delia Engelbani, and I'm serving as your color commentator today.
Here at halftime, scores 20-18. CYDI having the lead. Inbound for CYDI, we have number 5, Dwayne Ward. He kicks it to number 1. Oh, the ball is coughed up on the inside. And number 2, Mr. B, regains it. Quickly calling timeout. Smart play.
He said, I called the timeout, but we ready.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Coach probably had a game plan for this half.
Yeah.
Yeah, we taking this one.
I hope he do.
A flash at the free throw, number 5 misses it.
He had a lot of time to put that shot up. I don't even know why he didn't nail it. Like, he was real slow getting that ball up.
Number 3 with it from CYDI. James kicks it around. Shot is up. And
number
it's
5,
off the mark.
Rio Bush misses that.
Number 2, Mr. V with it. He drives, dishes it off to number 8. And there, Get Bucket Man doesn't get it this time, but a great putback.
I need to see some cleanup crews out here. Where is the garbage man? Pickup dude is today.
Number 7 with his own 3, that's off the mark. Robert couldn't make that one connect. Number 3 for the reverse lay-in, and that's off the mark. He couldn't deal with the contact, looks like. A little contact, I'm assuming, on the play. CYDI will be taking it out from the side. Number 1, Joshua with it. And the 3 is up. 3 is off the mark.
Score is now 20-20, 14-14 on the clock.
And number 3 gets bucket. Number 3, Donald Harris, after the great pick from Dwayne Ward. Number 5 from Marine Academy. No look pass. Does not find the intended player, but a foul called.
He was not happy with his teammate for missing that no-look pass. He was not. Did you see him throw a temper tantrum?
Yeah, I would have been upset too.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I'd have just hit him with that. Oh, okay. That's how we playing? All right.
CYDI with it. Number 2, Ernest kicks it to
number 3.
Big man, number 3.
Puts it in, no good. Well, puts it up, no good.
Donald Harris, number 3 from CYDI. Donald with it again. He shakes and bakes, kicks it back to the top. Number 2, Ernest swings it back to Donald. Number 3 steps around, back to Ernest. Ernest, number 2 for the 3. He's off, and he's 0 for 2. Ernest with the pass to number 5, and he puts it in there.
Yes.
Good look.
Score is now 22-22.
Number 2, Mr. V with it.
I think that CYDI needs to get their life in order a little bit. They're playing with their emotions on their sleeves. You can tell.
Game's
and you
getting
can
pretty
see it in
heated.
the way that they're playing too.
Number 3 with a great and 1 after the cut to the basket. Donald Harris.
Don't forget to stay tuned for the Free Spirit Media News at the end of this broadcast. It comes on at 9:50 every Saturday. So you can learn about what's going on in Chicago, and you can also find out the latest on the most important issues with teenagers. It'd be good. I watch it all the time. I learn a lot of stuff about the city and about programs that the city offers for us that I didn't know about. So y'all should check it out too. Number 3 tips it out to 7. 7 catches it and puts it up, and it goes in there.
Mr. Robert. Number 2, Mr. V drives, and he's off the mark. And a putback and an M1 by number 5, Dwayne Ward. He's really been one of the key players for his team today. I would have to say number 5, Dwayne Ward. Number 3, Donald Harris, and number 8, Henry Moore. And the three-point play is completed. Score now 28-24. CYDI losing their lead and are down by 4 points. Number 3, shaking and baking. He loses the ball. Number 3, lay-in is no good. Offensive rebound by number 6, and he puts it in there. Jimmy Crump. Got Crump. Number 6 with it for his own 3, and it's off. He felt that one slipping. Offensive rebound by number 5, Dwayne Ward. Number 3, Donald Harris back to number 6, and that 3 is off as well. Number 6, Curtis Henry with it. I'm sorry, Jimmy Crump.
Number 6 for the Marine Academy, when he puts those threes up, he screams. You know how Tiger Woods, he hit the ball and screamed? That's how 6 put them threes up.
Good old Jimmy Crump.
And now we're going to toss this to our sideline reporter, Adriana.
Hi, my name is Adriana Brown. I'm here with you guys' second game update. The score is 30-24 with 9 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. The game is going pretty good so far. It's been a lot of loose balls, you know. Everybody's trying to stay on defense, keep up with each other, you know, hustling hard. If you would like to stay updated, please stay tuned. Thank you.
Thank you for that great game update.
Great game, hilarious game update. You
At
want to
the
take it
line,
away?
we had number 3 from CYDI, James Johnson, connecting on his free throw. Number 3 from Marine Academy should have just took that shot, but he didn't.
He froze up? You got a little scared?
Gave it to number 6, and number 6 coughed it up. Number 10 came out with it, and he's fouled. Marcellus will be going to the line for Marine Academy. Shot is up, and it's off the mark.
Number 9 was not happy when they called that foul at all for CYDI. He wasn't happy at all. He like, what?
Not at all.
What?
Second one is up and it's off. He gets his own rebound. Tries to put it back up, but it doesn't work in his favor. Number 11 with it. Jaquez gives it to number 7. Back to number 11. Back to number 7. And it's in there for Robert. Score is now 27-30. CYDI still losing. Number 3 for 3, and it's off the mark.
They still losing, Kim. I'm laughing because of the way you said it.
Yeah, I'm a little. Number 7 for 3, and it's in there. Robert ain't playing with these boys.
No, he said, I want my lead back. I want my lead back now.
Timeout has been called. How do you think the
conversation and the huddles are going?
How do you think the pace of the game? How do you think the switch up?
Okay, well, I'm going to get to that question after I tell you what I like to tell you first. I think that I want to tell you about the conversations that's going on in the huddles right now. I would suggest and suppose that the coaches are telling these boys, stop trying to put those threes up because it ain't working. Today ain't your 3 day. Don't do it. Stop doing it. Be teammates. Drive. Put it up in the paint. That's it. That's all. Anyways,
put it up in the paint?
Put it up in the paint. Post up in the paint and put it up in the paint. There we go. Anyways, I think that the pace of the game is quite interesting. It's engaging because of the fact that the game didn't start off slow, but the lead was consistent with CYDI's, and then for them to lose it and then regain it, it's nice to see real sportsmanship going on out there, real game action. So I'm enjoying it. You?
I feel the same way. Currently, Marines dropping the bucket. Number 5, Dwayne Ward. Jimmy driving and he loses the ball. Number 3, Donald Harris kicks it to number 7, and Robert is just going ham.
Yes.
He's doing a lot of body jerking out there.
Yes. 11, yes. He has wonderful facial action expressions as well. I said action expressions, but.
Yeah, Jaquez Jackson. Mr. V with it, number 2 for Marine Academy.
If you can't seem to get enough of HoopsHIGH, friend us on Facebook to get to know the crew, and you can get to know what goes on in every HoopsHIGH production. Check us out. Check us out.
Mr. V driving, kicks it out. The fake, and number 3 in for the floater is good for Donald Harris.
Put it in now.
Number 11, Jaquez bringing it down. He's spinning. Kicks the ball out. 3 is no good by number 3, but he will be shooting 3. Let's welcome James Johnson to the line.
I'm sorry, but CYDI bench just looks miserable. Like, I want to be in a game. Put me in a game, coach.
I mean, you got to earn the time.
Got to earn the time. Them people that be shooting them threes. See, I told you. That's what they talked about in the huddle.
They need the free throw shooters out here.
I'm saying they need to practice shooting. Period.
Doing what he needs to do.
They need to be all in practice, practicing, shooting all type of shots. Threes, free throws, layups, floaters, all that.
Second one is off as well. If he doesn't make this one, I'm not gonna say what's gonna happen after that.
Can I tell you what I think?
What do you think?
I think that since he knows that he's not a good free throw shooter, that he just jags it anyway.
And the putback, very excited by number 7. Robert is not playing, you guys.
Be mindful that they had to put that ball up 3 times in order for Robert to make that possible. I just want y'all to know.
Yeah. Number 2, Mr. V gets his shot blocked by number 9, Chris. And number 7.
Score is currently 37-34 with 3:54 on the clock. 4 fouls, CYDI way. 5 fouls, the Marine Math and Science Academy way.
Robert, number 7, who's currently at the line, shooting. He misses the 3-point play free throw.
Yes, we know we are not always perfect, but we are always working to be better people and to learn more. We thank you for your support and encouragement.
Number 3 for the 3. And the 3 is off. Offensive rebound by number 2, Mr. V. And it's tipped. He comes up a little short. Number 7 with the reverse lay-in, and it's in there.
Enough.
Robert has taken the court by storm. Number 2, Mr. V with it.
If you want to see more Hoops High, now you can see full games on our brand new website. Go to www.hoopshigh.org to see games from the past or to stream live from your home or mobile devices.
On the previous play, an amazing dunk by number 9, Chris, from CYDI.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing, being that I spoke of dunks earlier and we finally got one. Number 3 for the Marine Math and Science Academy, looking for coach for help. He was not happy with that call. Ooh.
Number 7 couldn't get a grip on it.
He tried hard.
He did.
He fought hard. He wasn't even mad at the fact that he lost the ball because he knew.
Number 8, Henry, tries to put it in, but he misses. Number 2, Mr. V, taking it down alongside with Henry. Henry pushed into him. And the ref called something else, turnover on the Marine Academy. You clearly saw the defender push number 8, Henry Moore, until the player with the ball.
Yes, that's what he was upset about. He said, he pushed me into him. What are you talking about?
Ball deflected out of bounds. Marine Academy's way. 1.5 minutes left to the end of the game. Number 3 with it. He gets his own rebound. The shot is blocked by number 9 from CYDI.
The Marine Math and Science Academy coach is on the bench unhappy. He says, you guys are walking around like the game is almost over. What are you doing?
Sounds like a lot of running in store. 2 Marine Academy players just sitting in the paint that could have got the rebound and they don't get it. Number 7, Robert from CYDI smokes the easy lay-in, which I was expecting him to get because, you know, he's been getting
He's
4,
been doing a
5
good
of
job.
them. Right.
That's why his coach got off the bench. Boy, what? How?
That ain't what he wanted to say.
No, that ain't what he wanted to say at all.
Number 7 for 3 tries to redeem himself, and he's off the mark. Number 3 with it. Tries to tip dunk it. Tries to throw the oop.
Score is currently 41-34, 105 on the clock. The Marine Academy is still hoping to come back. They have the time almost, but they just gotta be clean, and it don't look like they being clean.
Yeah, they have to use their time wisely.
Well, let's see how clean they get at this line. Let's see how this go right here.
Number 3, Donald Ward, shooting 2.
Mm-hmm.
Shot is up, and it's in there.
Okay.
Only down by 6 with 58.6 left. Do you think it's possible for this lead to be
regained?
Yeah, so many words. Second
Yes.
shot is in.
As I just said, if they play clean out here, it look like they just found them a nice sharp razor, so they might come out the game a little clean.
They might need a extra possession because number 11, Jacquez Jackson, dribbles the ball out of bounds. Oh, I thought that was going to be an M1. And the Marine Academy back to the line.
See?
This is really where they need to be.
Where they need to be.
Making free throws, though.
CYDI's coach might want to, like, call a timeout and speak some words of encouragement to his team. I didn't think they was going to make it in that camp.
And
I'm telling you, it's a ball god.
It is.
The ball god is with that ball right now, and that ball is currently with the Marine Math and Science Academy right now.
Yep. Second shot is up and out. Timeout is called just like you predicted.
Told you so.
Scores 41-37.
6
4
and
points.
6 are the fouls. 6 fouls on 6 fouls. 4 points. Like you said, Kim.
Yep. Game is not as far.
You know what we haven't seen at all, Kim?
What is that?
Overtime.
Yeah, we really haven't. I guess that's for a reason. The ball guys don't too much mess with overtime.
Yeah. You think we can maybe see that today?
It's a possibility. Every time it's a possibility, but I
A high
don't think we'll be going
possibility
in.
or a low possibility? Low? Your face is telling me low possibility.
I think we should go to the
Where we going?
we going to the ship, hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Somebody got to win. Overtime not going to give us a winner.
Oh, okay. Ooh. Y'all, I get excited. I'm sorry. When they start fighting over the ball, it makes me happy.
Yeah. Not very much over here, but, you know.
Kim doesn't have to get excited because she leaves it up to me. That's why.
You know, share responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Another timeout is called after the scruffle for the ball, you know. 45.4 left. 4 points down.
It's a lot of fours going on in this
6
world.
on 6 foul.
Yes.
Inbounded to number 3.
To
number 5 comes with it.
Tries to put it back to number 3, and he ends up in the bleachers with us.
Yeah, he wanted an interview or something.
He wanted to join
rock
the
mic.
party. He wanted to join a party. He could have stayed if he wanted to. I'm just
sure
saying.
he could have.
I'm just saying, we love visitors. Y'all could come visit if you want to. We always down here kicking it. Come visit Tuesday or something.
No lane violation call. Someone was a little thirsty. 39.2 left on the clock. Good tip. He stumps up the stands to get the ball very
I
aggressively.
didn't even know he was stumping. A little part of me thought he, bust his little booty a little bit.
It sounded like it was collapsing.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down.
We're in the bonus. CYDI shooter.
The Marine Math and Science Academy is attempting to box out, or about to, at least. Free throw is no good.
Number 3 with it.
Ooh, and one. Rio Bush, number 5 for CYDI, is not happy about that call at all.
Not at all.
Fouls are 8 fouls for the Marine Math and Science Academy, 7 fouls for CYDI.
Marine Academy makes the first foul. And number 3, James Johnson, is at the line. Second one is off.
Ooh, he gets the ball again.
And it's fouled again.
Ooh.
That's that hard work. That's dedication.
Kim, I want you to give me my props because I called this.
You really did.
Thank you. Thank you.
Number 2, Ernest, waiting to sub in. Shot is up and it's in now. He's really bringing his team closer to this victory.
39-41.
Number 2 subs in for number 5, Leo Bush, who wanted to take a squat next to the announcers.
Second free throw is no good. That would have been such a blessing.
Number 2, Ernest with it. He takes a few steps, but he's fouled. Coach is really questioning what Ernest was doing on that last play.
He was trying to be a pretty basketball player. That's what he was attempting. He was trying. I bet you he was going to try to make that dunk and whatever. I don't even know.
Looked like he was getting ready for ballerina practice, if you ask me.
Oh, twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Mm-hmm.
Up.
Free throw up. And it's in now.
42-39.
I would have looked back at Coach like, how you like that?
Yeah, he's smiling now. He don't got nothing to say.
Yeah, he's happy.
And I'm happy.
Second one is in there as well.
43-39.
Bringing the lead back to 4 points.
Kim, I had you.
I know. Another timeout is called. Game is getting pretty close. 22.8 left.
Can't even deny the fact of the matter that I'm extremely disappointed with the Marine Math and Science Academy. They had plenty of possessions and they just did not do what they were supposed to do with that ball.
I would have to say both teams did because CYDI had the lead taken from them. They were robbed. They were bamboozled, just swindled out of all those points.
Correct. You are completely correct. And I agree with you. But in these winding down seconds, the Marine Math and Science Academy had the opportunity to do it to them boys. And they ain't do it to them like that. What was that? Come on, don't foul.
And a jump ball called. Great hands. And it's going Black's way.
D up. That's what CYDI say. Come on. See, they making me mad. Game is over. 43-39.
What a great, hard-fought game.
Great game. I enjoyed this game as well. I've been enjoying all the games that we've been viewing this past week.
I would have to say what made the game end up like it did is it's like both teams were working the same. They were both just putting up 4 or 5 minutes of just hard work. That one gush. Instead of, playing like that through the whole game, they decided to put it into just one.
I agree with you, Kim. That's how I feel. You took the words out of my mouth. You really did. You did. You took the words out of my mouth. And now we're going to talk to our silent reporter.
Player of the game, Robert Northern. So how do you think you did after?
I think I did wonderful. I think my team set me up well, and I think there was a nice flow to the game.
Congratulations on being player of the game. How did it feel to be MVP?
Yeah, it's good, but I'm just glad my team was able to come out with this W. I'm glad, my point guard facilitator, we did everything we were supposed to do to make sure this win could happen.
All right, thank you. And if you would like to stay updated, please stay tuned for more Hoops High. You can watch us on Channel 19 every Saturday at 8 p.m. Thank you.
You can watch Hoops High on CAN TV, Channel 19, every Saturday at 8 p.m. Please visit www.hoopshigh.org to learn more. Hoops High and Free Spirit Media would like to thank our sponsors. We are grateful for their support in making our mission of youth media education and opportunity possible.
Hoops High is family, communication.
Enjoy it. Hoops High is
astounding, creativity,
commitment.
Hoops High is exciting, meaningful.
Hoops High is
technology,
spirit, a community. Hoops High is home, love,
dedication,
inspired,
Hoops High.
If they probably never was exposed to it, they probably would have never have done it, but it's something that you see that interests people a lot.
I never worked with a camera, it was my first time learning about a camera, zooming in, zooming out. It was a real good experience for me, I think it changed a lot in me too. It changed how I think, and it changed something I like to do in life.
When I get older, I want to be some type of actor. So being in this classroom really helped me out, really exercise my ability to act.
We shooting it and we shoot it off what we done been through, and people get to see it and they watching it and they liking it.
Like young kids in the community can do stuff that's worth some type of value.
Meet Jaden, a 16-year-old from Chicago. He likes reading, playing basketball, and daydreaming. As one of 75 million youth in America, he is the future of our country. But today, Jaden's future is uncertain. A new economy is evolving as Jaden tries to find his way in a school system where more than 42% of students drop out and even more fall behind. For Jaden and others like him, the future looks grim. But there is hope. Youth media programs connect with kids like Jaden, moving them from discouragement toward opportunity through the power of communication. Jaden learns about journalism, technology, and culture. He spends his time engaged at school, in youth centers, and at libraries. He discovers how to observe the world around him and share his own stories. He becomes one of more than 10,000 teens involved in the Chicago Youth Voices Network, a collection of innovative programs that come together with a bold vision to reach more people like Jaden, to transform education, and to shape the health of our city. Together, the network gives vision to the journalists, artists, engineers, and leaders of our future. One story, poem, film, blog post, one youth at a time.
Today, 3 of the worst games were banned from a new video arcade. And as Vicky Vargas tells us, some there are relieved, others aren't so sure.
Parents are often the first to ask, could this lead to this?
Taller skin is the agreement.
The video games you just saw are some of the games I've played since I was a child. I used to think video games affected children's behavior, including my own. Through the process of making this documentary, I realized it's not as easy as blaming video games.
I would say violence is the act of being like aggressive towards something or someone.
Violence to me means like conflict between just two things or two people, like fist on or anything else that has harmful ways towards each other.
One of the reasons why violence is used in video games is it's a really quick, easy way to demonstrate conflict. Conflict is what makes media interesting.
You know, young kids are usually interested in superheroes, cartoons, and things like that, and there are a lot of those in games. I think as people get older, they're drawn to fantasy, you know, whether it's the fantasy of being a soldier that, you know, single-handedly wins the war, or a fantasy of being a magician that fights all these dragons or anything like that.
At Stanton's Golfland, manager Ken Beck understands the concern, but he says games like the banned Lethal Enforcer only teach kids how to shoot, a sort of high-tech take on the old Wild West.
There are different games that are meant to appeal to different people. Video games are visually interesting. They might have cartoon characters, they might have realistic people. They're usually meant to be splashy. There might be explosions or like driving a car, or things that people find exciting.
To me, it's enjoyable because it's not real, so it's not like it's actually happening, but you think like cool, like a game, a video game. Video designers, they can make a game or a main character on a game do anything.
Video games are designed to do that. They're designed to draw people in. They're designed to be fun. And so people put a lot of energy and thought into what can we grab people with? What event can we show in the game that you say, that's really cool, you know, that's cooler than what I've seen in a movie, or, you know, playing as this guy seems really fun, or I'd want to do this, or I'd want to try that.
Shut his head off.
Children, they like sponges, so whatever they see, they suck in.
The part of the brain that will help you as a teenager process all this and do more long-term planning and more sequencing and thinking things through, what we sometimes call executive functioning, rank ordering things and coming up with problem-solving skills. That part of your brain doesn't fully develop until you're in your 20s.
It has a big impact on them because they're still learning, and they're at the stage where they learning the most.
I can't imagine that a third grader playing Call of Duty wouldn't be unaffected by it because it's such graphic kinds of violence. And I think as an adult you can appreciate what the violence is for, where it fits. I don't think you understand that as a kid.
And so the brain's this wonderful organ that's always growing, always responding to the environment. We refer to that as plasticity. The brain's always reacting to what it's exposed to.
I mean, you can't necessarily say everybody gonna turn bad from playing video games. And some people, it depends on, it's not just the video games, it depends on your household.
I say a great deal because I have a little brother, and like ever since I let him start playing Call of Duty or games like that, he always want to go around making guns like coat hangers and stuff. So I had to make him start playing Call of Duty by breaking my own Call of Duty.
I think the video game rating system came out of a backlash against video games from concerned parents. A lot of this started with this game Mortal Kombat in the early 1990s, where you had digitized people, you know, like decapitating each other, you punch somebody and bleed. And that wasn't something that had been done in the technology. The technology wasn't good enough to do that.
The ratings from the ratings board is an educational tool. Parents need to know what their kids are playing. At least the parents who are paying attention need to know what their kids are playing.
And so I think that there were enough people that wrote to their congressman or wrote to whatever politician or wrote to video game companies and complained and said, what you're doing is illegal, what you're doing is hurting our children, that it caused the video game industry to add these ratings.
I just think kids will imitate it, but it depends on like parental control. Like if your parent can control the child good enough not to make them want to do this in like real life.
So I don't know how effective it is in terms of keeping a child away from games like that, but at least, you know, we have a body of knowledge that parents can trust, established by a group that understands that Parents are looking for information and they're trying to provide that.
And I think it's good that they have ratings because we have all these different kinds of games now that need this classification. We need to know that this game involves, you know, the use of alcohol or stealing cars or shooting people, whereas this game just involves playing hockey or, you know, running around a fantastic universe and collecting coins.
I think that it is both the consumer's responsibility and the designer's responsibility.
You don't know what's going on because you're at a young age, but you see enough to, you know, to come to a conclusion, or you see enough to go and ask somebody or go try and do this, and you actually found out what it really is.
You have to know that any art you create will have some kind of impact, and you have to be willing to be responsible for the impact that you may create.
You don't feel the violence the same way you would as an adult. You know, if you see somebody getting shot on TV, you should have a reaction to that because you have this empathy that you get as an adult. You see them as a person and you understand the person being injured or why that happens.
I believe video games cause violence because I wanted easy answers to the violence in my community and in the media. Everything got more complicated when I learned about drones.
Unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, also called drones, are a controversial component of the Obama administration's efforts to fight terrorism.
A drone is basically used by Army people to sit behind a control panel and be able to manage all of the aircraft from behind the screen.
My favorite video game would be Call of Duty. It's basically like a shooting game, just you go around. It's like what they do in the military, just in video game form.
Using the drones, they try to be better at it. So every time they get something or they get a command to do, they're like, okay, I have to do this command. And then they have to try to be better. I have to be better than the last time. And that's just like a video game, right? You're trying to go to the next level. You're trying to beat that game, but it's not really a game.
You're not going to find definitive research on that topic. And so what you get are correlations that the more kids do this, the more they tend to do that.
There's a lot of conflicting information. Not a lot of study has been done. There's been a lot of studies done, but it's not conclusive yet.
All the research I've ever seen says that there's no connection. There are some studies by certain scientists that say that seeing anything violent causes people to do violent things. But there are also studies that say that what makes people aggressive is competition. It's not a video game, it's the fact that you're competing, whether it's against a computer or another person.
And I could also say there's some video games that can help you problem solve and help you explore and be creative and do other things. So I can see some positive skills you might learn from video games. It's about balance.
We can show hyper-stylized violence in ways we can do it cheaply, we can do it creatively. And just because we can, should we?
Take every advantage.
I am
confidence,
determination,
heart.
I am agility,
leadership, drive.
I am patience,
power, balance.
I am athlete.
I am athlete.
I am athlete. I am athlete.
It depends what you write.
Art. That's my one word, man. It's art.
It's an underrated form of art.
Gave me a voice in the city.
I would say relief.
Just art. Some would say just expression. Some would say creativity. Some might say living. But really, for us, it's grounded in writing. We are writers. That's what we call ourselves. That's what we do. First of all, graffiti is a mark on a surface, right? Then the urban graffiti that we have experienced in the last 50 years that came from Philadelphia and New York City and other inner city areas was a venue for young people to express themselves through vandalism, putting their names up, getting props, recognition, and fame for that. And then once you have once you have like skills based on spray painting, then you could take it further. It was tagging that made it possible for me to learn how to paint a butterfly, right? Or to be able to paint any language, because all languages are the same. They're built on a line and on curves, right? So that means you could go anywhere in the world and paint if you know how to do graffiti. So back to the history of it, in Chicago, it had always been here, but in different forms. People used rollers and paintbrushes back in the day. Old school gangbangers, the OGs used to use rollers to put their names up. When graffiti came from New York, then people began to use spray paint to put their names up. And then it evolved from the tag into the wild style lettering that we know of today and the productions that we paint. You know, like when you were a kid growing up in Chicago during that time, and it's still like this today, I don't think that's changed so much. Like, you pretty much know which gang is in the neighborhood by looking at the walls. So what happened was that the gangsters were claiming neighborhoods, you know, and when New York City graffiti came about, it was all about getting out of your neighborhood. Like, you didn't want to be the guy that wrote his name all over your neighborhood. You wanted to be the guy that was writing your name all over the city.
It depends what you write, you know? Like, I guess if you write like gang signs or, you know, stuff like that, it does make it look bad, but I mean, this is like drawings, it's art. I mean, look at that and look at this. It takes a lot of talent to do this.
The difference between gang graffiti and art graffiti is that gang graffiti is more of vandalizing, possession over territory, and it's not not for any emotion into it. It's just saying, this is mine, this is who we are, you know, and it's vandalizing, you know, it has no feeling into it. It has no purpose.
One of the hugest, most beautiful things that ever happened to me was becoming a graffiti writer, because it got me off the block. I mean, a lot of the guys that I grew up with, a lot of guys that I was friends with from the time I was like 5, 6 years old, you know, they got caught up in that gang stuff, and they could not walk 3 blocks east, you know, west, north, south without fear of, you know, getting their head split open, right? You know, our community here suffers, man, from segregation, from racist housing policies that have made it so that ownership is difficult here. So there's too many dilapidated structures around. So what should you do with that? Just leave them brown or whack or, you know, damaged? No, we want to bring some color to it. So the objective is basically to bring color to the community and beautify and transform it by painting these walls.
Well, I see my man painting, it stuck out to me because, like I said, I really don't see this in my community a lot, especially from back in the days to now. But it's a new way to express yourself. It's hot. It stands out in the community. It makes you wonder, like, who did it and how could I get involved. So it's what's up, man. It just picks your brain and actually makes you see that it's more out here than just partying for entertainment or to express yourself, or gangs and drugs and all that. You can draw, you can do art around the community, express your feelings on the wall or something.
When we painted this wall, we had like 15 kids for a summer program, and we painted the largest mural in the city, but it was a graffiti production. It was all real graffiti, real burners, telling the truth, like we did the police officers, a pig, and, you know, chasing after kids and stuff. That really changed how I realized, like, man, this really affects our community in a positive way. Because all those kids would go by and they'd be like, I painted that. I painted that. This was my idea. This was my idea. And I was like, man, this is beautiful. I would like to do this more.
I think that if you know how to do art, do graffiti, then you should do it because it's something that has to do with emotion, about how you feel, about how things are probably going in your life. Basically, if you use a dark color, that means something bad. If you use a light color, it means something good. I think art, graffiti, all that is just a fun thing to do. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks about graffiti or art.
Art graffiti is more of a, this is what the world is, this is what it has come to, this is what we're doing, and this is what we want. You know, it's just someone's feelings into a canvas and just showing that the world isn't right, or just showing how their mind is going. Something that can't be said and can't be understood and just seen through one's hands.
It's more like a type of expression, I would say. Yeah, like, you know, people have like certain ways of expressing themselves. We express themselves through art. So it'd be like politics and art, let's say go hand in hand, you know? It's like representing us and what we have to say. But we don't have a word, you know, they don't take our word, so might as well show them, right?
But you are going to have a great day, boo. I'm not even going to worry about anything that's going on today, okay? Can be different from mama. Just have a great day.
Look at this girl come through this hallway with the rocker with fit on.
Everybody want to walk around and be followers and do the same thing. I choose not to. I'm one of the few, and I choose to be different.
I want to go home.
I want to see my family.
I'll never do it again.
It wasn't even me.
The juvenile justice system is hurting my community. It's hurting troubled youth.
They talk a good game, but there is no meaningful education going on inside the juvenile justice system.
There is no actual discussions about why what they did was wrong, how it affected them, and how it affects their community.
If there is an education, it is an education for survival within the madness.
It becomes more of a test than anything. Youth get to test how tough they are because now you're in a facility with maybe the roughest and toughest youth from all across the city.
One cannot exactly appreciate and ponder about the universe, gain skills and plan for tomorrow when you're worried about whether your throat is going to be cut.
So gaining more knowledge on criminal activities, it becomes more of a skill share.
It is an education as about violence. Is it an education about aggression? Is it an education about devaluing human life?
And if you can succeed in here, if you can make it through here and out of here without getting, I guess, punked, you could say, then you can go back to your community, and now you're more respected because you made it through that experience.
That is the education that one gets simply by trying to survive inside the juvenile justice system, especially when they're locked up like animals.
I think that's why kids just keep coming back, because it's, you know, it can be different when you're there and you're in court or you're locked up, but if it's the same when you go home, nothing's changed, then, you know, it's the same patterns are going to be there, the same behaviors are going to be there, and it's going to be hard for kids to stay out of trouble if nothing's changed at home.
Department of Corrections, you know what I mean? It's called correction. You know what I mean? You sit somebody in the cell and in the hole something for years, let them rot, and then just bring them out. That's not correcting anything. If anything, that's adding to the problem.
think the original goals was to establish this parental court, to look at the child's background, to understand what led to the crime that the kid committed. There was also this intention to keep the families together.
The whole difference between the adult system and the juvenile system is that the juvenile system is supposed to be more geared towards rehabilitation. It's not supposed to be punitive or not supposed to be based on punishment.
A century ago, kids were really not treated as children. They were treated as adults. And what that meant is that if a kid committed a crime, they were sent to prison. And we know today that there's a lot of issues with that when kids are sent to adult prisons.
17 and under, they might be considered a juvenile. So if they're 17 and it's a misdemeanor, which means a lower level offense, then they're a juvenile. If they're 16 and under for a felony offense, they're considered a juvenile. So at 17, you could be either a juvenile or adult in the court system.
So any bright line rules about juveniles being tried as an adult, I find really problematic because they're not adults. And there's a lot of scientific research out there differentiating just the mental capacities of teenagers versus adults.
They aren't able to appreciate consequences or right and wrong or things like that at the same level that adults are.
So there's a lack of understanding of consequences, which is just partially because that's how juveniles' minds, they haven't formed that type of consequence-oriented type of thinking.
I think if you were to ask 17-year-old African American males in Chicago if they've ever been stopped by the police, most kids are going to say yeah, even if they weren't doing anything wrong, even if they weren't arrested.
So education is closely connected to the juvenile justice piece because young people are getting locked up in school at an exponential rate.
Every day, more and more juveniles and youth are going to jail.
So when kids get into trouble, kids get into fights, they go straight to the police room. They go and get arrested. And they end up in the detention center. We call that the school to prison pipeline because kids are going straight from school to jail.
The lower class get forgot about. We get the worst education, we get the worst teachers, we get the worst jobs, and they expect us to make a miracle out of nothing.
You can't ignore the fact that the vast majority of kids that are down at the juvenile court and that are locked up in the juvenile detention center are young African American males that are coming from lower income households, and I think it sort of affects it on both sides of things, because I think that being a young African American male in Chicago makes you more likely to get stopped by the police, whether or not you're doing anything wrong.
I think that we are at a critical point right now where the system is at a breaking point, where we have a lot of kids who are on the inside and a lot of marginalized groups are overrepresented in the system right now. And so we need to kind of break through that cycle and try and imagine a new system or abolish it and come up with something new to really help the future, to help kids.
There definitely needs to remain and be even more of a focus on rehabilitation and not just on punishment, because so many kids just get caught up and keep coming back and keep coming back.
A child needs to have a future outlook. A child needs to be protected.
I wish that there was better education in schools in terms of saying, hey, this is what this actually means, and these are the consequences that are coming.
I think I would want there to be more involvement in terms of finding out from youth what would really work and what would help and what would prevent them from getting involved in the first place or from getting involved again if they do get involved.
There are youth working all over the nation on juvenile justice issues, closing down detention centers just like we're trying to do here in Chicago, fighting to make reform, trying to change laws that criminalize youth for being youth. So there are a lot of ways youth can get involved.
People in communities knew their rights and were more educated, and knew what a cop could and couldn't do. I mean, I feel like that would eliminate a good part of the problem.
I think if we don't fight for ourselves, no one will. And if we don't support the organizations and whatnot that's trying to make a change, trying to make a difference, then, well, we don't have a right to say anything about when things don't change.
So much attention is being put on the negative and what youth aren't doing or the bad that we are doing, but not enough attention is being put on all of the positive things that young people are doing. Because young people are doing this work everywhere.
I'm gonna be turning all these heads at the game tonight. ShortyBed.com.
75% of teenagers will have had sex by the time they are 20.
Girl, where you going? To the game. You like my makeup?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm gonna get too many shorties number tonight, man.
First of all, you got on too much makeup, and you need to get your priorities straight. Boys is not the only thing in life.
Girl, you tripping.
U.S. teenagers are more than likely to have sex before the age of 15. This is the female student mentor class. I really think you would like it here. It's where girls help other girls build their self-esteem.
It's fun to eat supper with your family, especially when there is good food on the table. Later on, drink lots of water. A good snack of crackers and milk at home. That's the good kind of food if you're hungry after school. And then, play. Hard play. Plenty of pep now. See what good eating habits can do for you?
Americans are not winning their battle against obesity. One study found that obesity rates for adults actually rose in 28 states this year.
According to experts, almost 2/3 of American adults are seriously overweight or obese. That's a 150% increase in just the last 30 years. Obesity among children
in children and teenagers is up from 16 to 17.1% over the past 2 years.
Teenage health in 2 decades paints a worrying picture, with 1 in 4 youngsters overweight or obese.
Spending $150 billion a year treating obesity-related illnesses. So we know this is a problem and there's a lot at stake.
But not even her exhortation
Michelle Ender's daughter got one of her second.
New study published today.
North Lawndale, currently home to about 36,000 residents. In the 1960s, there were not nearly as many corner stores, fast food restaurants, and vacant lots. But just like technology, things change. Riots followed the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968, which left many of the stores on Roosevelt Road destroyed, and over 75% of the businesses in the community disappeared. Today, with over 93% of the North Lawndale population African American, it faces an even bigger problem: obesity.
Obesity is a scary word, a medical term for being severely over what medical professionals feel like ideal weight is for your height, for your age, for your sex.
One misconception is that people who are obese are fat, and that's not necessarily the case. Obesity is more like the condition of being unhealthy, more so than like you just like everyone who's fat is obese.
There are many different cultural perceptions of obesity. So depending upon which community you go into, people will perceive different weights for different children.
There are certain foods that are just associated with
certain ages, and Flaming Hots were not things that I ate in my community, but you can't come around here and not eat Flaming Hots, right?
Well, when you talk about not having a healthy lifestyle, you think about diseases. You think about a lot of illnesses that people are struggling with.
Obesity places people at risk for issues like
diabetes,
heart disease,
kidney disease,
high blood pressure,
and on like that.
If you were to ask me what do I think the #1 issue is from a healthcare perspective in our community, my answer is obesity. It's being overweight.
Obesity happens because of lifestyle concerns and community concerns, as well as some contributions of what you inherit from your parents, of course. And it often involves a lot of behavior change, and change is hard for people.
There are factors in society that determine, not always, not for everyone, we call them risk factors in epidemiology, which means that you'll tend to be obese, say in this case, if you have certain characteristics. And those characteristics are, if you're poor, that's the most important one, and the other one that's on a par with poverty is if you're a person of color and therefore victimized by racism.
The African Americans suffer a great deal, not eating healthy, not experiencing the healthy eating such as fruits and vegetables and things like that.
In North Lawndale, it's primarily an African American community. In South Lawndale, it's primarily a Mexican American community. So these communities, when you look at them, they are areas of ethnic minorities.
#1, I think it's expensive to eat healthy, and especially considering our economy. It's just very difficult for people, parents, to invest that kind of money in things that they don't find as important.
If you can go to, McDonald's and buy the whole menu for like $5, for a family that, doesn't have a lot of money to spend on a meal every day, they might not even look for another alternative because it's like, I know that's cheap. I know I can go to McDonald's and get whatever for, this amount of money.
If you are a victim of racism and if you are poor, then you're more likely to live in communities, to live in neighborhoods, for example, where there are no supermarkets, where there is no fresh foods and so on.
Every day coming to work, I'll see, some children walking down the street and they'll have like their bag of Flaming Hots and their juice, which is just colored sugar water. For their breakfast, but they are less expensive than, going to somewhere and buying apples sometimes. They're readily available at the corner store, which is directly across the street.
Many of your African American communities suffer the most, mainly because of the fact that there's not a lot of access to healthy eating.
In North Lawndale, there is right now one supermarket, Leamington's on Roosevelt Road, and frequently there have been no supermarkets. And so if we give advice to people, we say, well, eat fresh fruits and vegetables, where are they going to get it?
I do think it's limited in the sense of there might be one grocery store here, but then the next place that you can get raw foods or Whole Foods might be, a few miles away. And in my neighborhood, some people might be limited in that capacity to, to get transported there.
And so if you don't have access to a car very easily, if you don't have access to a place like that to go, you just stay home and you eat and you get overweight and you watch TV.
In addition to the lack of healthier foods, there are other environmental factors that contribute to a person not being healthy. One of those factors is violence.
We tend to have relatively high concentrations of poverty in one place, which translates into things like the absence of good retail food stores, or it translates into a lot more crime than anybody is comfortable with.
I'm a rich white man, but in a sense, that gives me a bit of insight because I see what goes on in rich white communities as well as in poor communities of color. And there's whole lots of stuff that society makes easy to go on in poor communities of color that in a million years would never happen in rich white communities.
Talking to a lot of parents who are in my program are concerned about safety issues. So they don't want their children out riding bikes. They don't want their children out running around just kind of being a kid.
If there are no parks, where do you exercise? But if there are parks and they in turn are dangerous and people don't want to go out into the parks, especially at night, or let their children into the parks because they're too dangerous, then that also is a structural issue that has to do with racism and poverty.
So in North Lawndale, when you look around, we don't have the things that the suburban communities have in terms of parks, in terms of safe places for people to go to be able to get exercise. You know, we don't even have a big mall here, right? Where sometimes people who live near a mall, they'll go to the mall and not go shopping, they'll go in the mall and go for a walk, right? It's a safe place, it's a warm place.
Out there you got like healthy stores, like on the corner stores that are like walking distance. Also you got like yoga bars and things like that instead of like eating like all the sugar ice cream and all the junk and stuff.
There's way more, you know, fast food places than there might be, you know, a farmer's market.
As in every community, there are both strengths and weaknesses. In many ways, there can't be a community more beautiful, say, than North Lawndale. And it has a glorious history. At the same time, I mean, right now, North Lawndale is a very poor community and faces a lot of limitations. We each have a personal responsibility to do better. Despite racism, despite poverty.
Making people aware that it's not a one-time thing, that it's a lifestyle change, that you do not have to go cold turkey.
At an early age, children don't go out and buy their own food and their choices of like what they eat. They eat with like what their parents give to you. So if you're a child that's at home and your parents eat nothing but like fatty foods and junk, as you get older, you're gonna eat fatty food and junk.
I would like to see more of our parents have some healthy snacks for our kids, something they can have throughout the day. Instead of the flaming hots, the Milky Ways and the cookies.
Our mission is to say, no, if you provide a beautiful quality facility, people will come and they will enjoy it and they will spend money and it'll be successful. And so we create the opportunity for a patient to care for themselves, because we can't get on the treadmill with them. We can only provide the treadmill. We wanted to focus on food and give it kind of a green context.
If you're not in the environment that doesn't, you know, facilitate you knowing these alternatives, then, you know, to a certain extent, you're gonna be a product of your environment.
They do so much for us as players, really support us as players. Least we can do is give back and show them that we care.
I see real important values in growing up in a tight-knit community.
I think that helping is contagious. Once you do it, you know, many more will follow. The doors you open and close today are the stepping stones for you tomorrow.
Basketball is not who I am. Basketball is what I do. I live in the community, the Lawndale community, which there is a high rate of gangs.
I grew up in a lot of different communities, but the communities I grew up in was rough, project-ish.
My community is pretty much bad. Within the last 2 months, it's just been really crazy. Within 2 weeks' time, 6 boys got killed.
Living in a community with gangs,
it doesn't affect me personally, but it affects my community because like most of the violence that occurs, it happens with gangs. Gangs are the cause of it.
I think gangs are in this community because of the high poverty rate. It's not a lot of high schools in this community, or not a lot of youth centers the young males can go to.
No jobs. When people don't have jobs, then what are they gonna do?
So they turn to gangs as their support and as their safety.
So this whole notion, when you look at the connection between class and shooter organizations / gangs, and I think it's actually to look at it at a triple-pronged space. So class, race, and shooter organizations.
The major contributing factors to gang formation: number 1, poverty; number 2, poor education; number 3, lack of jobs; number 4, poor housing opportunities.
And a lot of times, because many communities that are referenced as poor may not have the same resources, they have to create their own spaces where they can protect themselves and at the same time support community members. And a lot of times I think that they are, in many cases, allowed to flourish in particular areas because in some instances that's all folks have. That's all folks may have, or more importantly, that's all folks might think they have.
Look at the role of housing. You tear down public housing in Chicago, you demolish all the public housing, you push the people out, you push them into other communities that don't have any resources, and what you think is gonna happen? It's gonna be tension and friction, and it's gonna turn into gangbanging.
Combine that with not having access to particular spaces in the city. You think about that, about unemployment, you think about unemployment generationally, you think about low quality education in those spaces where young folks are not valued and are able to see the outside world and how they can contribute to improving it. Then you create almost a perfect storm that could actually allow for organizations that may not have the best intentions for the community to flourish.
That's why we got all this violence going on. So look at the city. Blame them. Blame Daley. You know, don't just blame the kids. It's a lot of blame to go around, you know, but right now it seems to be, you know, just focused on kids in our community and locking them up, and I think that's a big mistake.
So we very rarely think about, say, the first Daley, who was mayor of Chicago, as a member of a quote-unquote gang.
Some people would even argue that, like, Mayor Daley's father was in a gang. You know, the first Mayor Daley was in a gang called the Hamburg Group.
But we know that the Hamburgs actually were formed in response, not just as an athletic club, but in response to police brutality.
But they were able to take their gang and turn it into a political organization.
So if we look at organizations like Latin Kings, the Imperial Counts or the Chaplains, these are older structures, shooter organizations in Chicago. They, in many cases, were formed to protect the neighborhood and to protect themselves from police.
They did positive things in the 50s and 60s, and the leadership of the organizations was stronger. You know, so the leaders of the gangs in the 50s and 60s, when they said something, it was the law for everybody in the gang.
Affiliations are much looser than they were 20, 30 years ago, but at the same time, there is a level of organization.
In the 70s, the government targeted gang leaders in the war on drugs. So a lot of the gang leaders got taken off the street. Guys like Larry Hoover, Bobby Gore from out west, all of these guys, they got locked up. And when the leaders got locked up, it left the streets disorganized. The guys on the streets didn't have any leaders to lead them.
Gangs denote this notion around just a group of young folks running around, breaking stuff, robbing people, beating folks up. That might be part of the situation and the condition, but I think it's really important to understand those spaces as organized.
Today, what you have is the guys that are out here on the street today, they don't honor the former leaders and the former mission of the gangs. Like if you look at the laws and the mission of the vice lords, it talks about how they were, their goal was to improve the community. Today, we have guys out here, they don't respect the leadership. They do what they want to do. It's different renegade groups, and they fight with each other over petty things, mainly drug, turf, and that type of thing, and that's what has happened. So no, they don't honor what happened. They're not like the gangs were. The gangs today are not like they were in the past. Popular culture has a major influence on gang formation and gang identity and gang culture, so to speak.
I know, like, the music that I listen to, they talk about gangs, being a part of the gang or the gang that they used to be in. And I know, like, a lot of the things that rappers do, people, well, young men that are a part of gangs, they portray the same things in the outside world.
I think the media affects teens' lives, like, it's a very big impact on teens, because, you know, teens nowadays, they don't really have that much, you know, good influences, so they look towards all the people, all the famous people, and all the rich people and stuff that they see on TV. That's their only choice, I guess.
A lot of the gangster rappers like Lil Wayne and them, and Rick Ross and Jay-Z and 50 Cent and Eminem and Dr. Dre, that same record company, the Universal Music Group, is also owned by General Electric, which is the major owner and operator and investor in private prisons. So on one hand, they building prisons where these guys are going to, private prisons, and on the other hand, they are producing music that creates a climate and culture of criminality that leads guys to go to prison. I'll never forget when I first heard the rap group NWA, Niggas with Attitudes, which was really considered the first gangster rap group. But these guys began to rap about gang banging, set tripping, selling drugs, doing violence, doing drive-by shootings. And because it was a part of popular culture, what happened was that kind of activity and that kind of behavior became popular for young people.
Gangs, I don't know, they're very popular nowadays. You're cool if you're in a gang. You're popular if you're in a gang.
And so now you got kids who really don't even grow up in the hood who want to identify with being a gangbanger, and I think that contributes to the large growth of street gangs.
To stop gang violence as a community, I think that we should have more after-school programs like parks and different things like that.
Talk to these children, especially the young ones that's in it. Talk to them, let them know that this is not the life that you want to live. You don't know where you might end up if you join a gang. You don't know the outcome and result of it. So while you're ahead, just stop, think about it before you even try to put yourself in a position that you know you will not be able to get yourself out of.
Also, we should have more police enforcement, because I feel as if the police could do something to stop the gang violence.
Providing a quality education, providing young folks with activity before and after school, and actually listening to young folks about their issues and concerns, and creating programs based on their expressed issues and concerns.
And I've been running in the streets all day, and I've been looking at the stars all night. It got me thinking, how can I get away? It got me thinking about the perfect day. And I could tell you something we both know. We can hustle, but the streets get cold. And I've been thinking, how can I get away? It got me thinking about the perfect day.
Passion, drive,
diet,
Doesn't matter if you're an athlete or not.
Hard and bounce.
Take every advantage. If you train hard, you'll not only be hard, you'll be hard to beat.
You're swagging with Tony Parker.
This is Ryan Archidiakono.
I'm Prince eBay. This is Nigel Williams-Goss.
Take every advantage.
You're rocking with Amari Stoudemire, and you're watching Hoops High. Watch it or watch nothing.
Behind the scenes of Hoops High, it's more than interviews and replays. The crew contributes 110% in setup and production.
While we have fun, we are also very serious about getting the job done.
We have the opportunity to work with big companies such as Nike and to meet current and future NBA stars. We are Hoops High.
Aaliyah, what you running for?
Cause I'm late for work.
Where you work at?
Free Spirit Meat.
All right, come on. I gotta go to work too.
Come on, what's wrong with you?
Let me take a breath.
You okay?
Yeah, let's go.
Everyone, FSM News is back and it's time to work it out.
And since it's the summer, we're back on the road. And for this newscast, we're at Waveland Park. So keep it tuned.
Stay in your seats. We'll be right back with the first newscast of the summer. Welcome to FSM News on the Road. I'm Zaria Safaro.
And I'm Frederick Knighton.
Summer is the season that teens begin to slack, so the FSM team is ready to raise awareness for teen healthiness.
And one way to lead teens into being healthy throughout the summer is by enjoying healthy drinks.
Here's FSM News reporter Brittany Martin with some healthy refreshments.
Summer is just beginning, and it's time to trade hot cocoa and coffee for healthy, cool beverages.
I like to drink water to stay cool.
Mostly water and Gatorade.
One of my favorite cool drinks is Coca-Cola.
Since people are trying to stay cool during the summer, we have two FSM crew members who are going to demonstrate how to make cool, healthy drinks. First, we'll take it back to the studio where India Connor is.
Hello, I'm India Connor, and I'm here to show you how to make berry lime liquado.
First, you will need to mix the strawberries and blueberries together. Next, you will need to put sugar inside the blender. Then add the lime juice. After that, you will add the ice. Next, I added the water and berries and blended it together.
See how simple that was? Now back to Brittany.
Thanks, India. Now we will take it over to Jakira Smith, where she will be making pomegranate lemonade. It's so easy that she's making it outside.
Thanks, Brittany. Hello, everyone. My name is Jakira Smith, and I will be making pomegranate lemonade. This is a healthy drink to keep cool during the summer. In order to make pomegranate lemonade, first I will combine sugar and lemon juice together until it's fully dissolved. Secondly, I'll pour the pomegranate juice into the pitcher and stir it all together. Next, I'll add the water to the pitcher. Lastly, I'll pour the pomegranate lemonade into the cup of ice.
That was delicious. Reporting for FSM News, I'm Brittany Martin.
Wow, I never knew there were so many healthy drinks to choose from.
Exactly, but the real question is, are these drinks helping teens to lose weight?
Well, I don't know about that, but there are lots of teen dieting plans.
Exactly, and here's Lyric Hal with more.
So I said to my girlfriend, I need to go on a diet.
Some people diet in order to stay fit during the summer.
Yeah, I just think you eat balanced food, your fruits, your vegetables. You don't eat too much, don't eat too little. Eat till you're full. That's how I eat. Awesome.
Yeah, and I think, just doing everything in moderation, I really believe in that. So, yeah, having sweets every once in a while, but trying to have a balanced diet, I think that's important.
I agree completely with her.
Although people's intentions are good when dieting, some of their techniques can be risky.
I've had friends who have gone on diets that are essentially just a juice fast, where they're not eating anything of substance, just lemonade with cayenne pepper in it, which is extremely unhealthy.
But I think society in general kind of forces you to eat a certain way. They say you can't, if you want to look a certain way, you have to eat a certain way. So no one in particular has forced me, but I think everyone in general forces all of us to eat a certain way.
Some trend diets are, but not limited to, cotton ball diets, protein shakes, and calorie diets. Another risky technique is the cotton ball diet, which consists of a person dipping a cotton ball into juice and consuming it. We asked a few people have they heard of this technique.
No, I've never heard of that.
No, I haven't.
Teenagers, don't do that. It's stupid. Who's gonna eat a cotton ball?
Dieting is meant to be healthy, not harmful. Fruits and veggies are more than enough.
I think that fitness is key. The best thing you can do for your body is build lean muscle. Best thing in the world.
Reporting from FSM News, I'm Lyric Hal.
Thanks, Lyric. That was really interesting.
With so much hard work and concentrating on staying healthy, teens seem to get tired.
Tune into this PSA about teen exhaustion.
You never know when you need energy, so eat healthy, kids.
As you have seen from the PSA, eating healthy gives people more energy.
Eating healthy doesn't just give you more energy, it can help you lose weight.
Yeah, Aaliyah Bosley can tell us all about weight loss.
Some Chicagoans this summer are focused on having the perfect summer body.
My perfect summer body would be abs, lots of abs, and I guess just a lean body.
Working on the abs, biceps, triceps, and be able to just hold your weight.
In order for this to take place, many have to stay fit.
I try to run between 12 and 15 miles a week, and I swim about 3 hours a week. And bike ride, and again, yoga, Pilates.
For some, weight loss is not about looking good. It's also about feeling good.
To stay healthy and to remain youthful. I have a 9-year-old daughter, so I think it's important that I can run with her and play with her. So I think it's very important to exercise, to at least maintain what I eat.
Some people are happy with the decision that they chose to lose weight.
I felt great. I felt a lot lighter, a lot less of me carrying around and stuff.
At first, I always thought I wouldn't be able to do it, and eventually when I started seeing results and people started telling me I started to slim down, I challenged myself more to start doing more exercise and things like that, and it was just basically motivation that really helped me. I just try to continue to do what I do and stay in shape.
Reporting from FSM News, I'm Aaliyah Boxley.
Did you know there are a lot of big-name NBA free agents in this year's free agency? This year, there's a lot of big-name free agents, such as Luol Deng, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade. When this story went to air, Carmelo Anthony had not made a decision, but many are hoping he comes to the Chicago Bulls.
You should go to the Bulls because we need help. D Rose needs some help, even though he don't want him on the team.
Yeah, he's coming to the Bulls.
What team do you think will be the best fit for LeBron James in this year?
He's gonna stay with the Heat and take less money so they can bring more people in.
Okay. Do you think that we will ever have a big free agency like this again?
No.
We will in the future with Wiggins and Parker.
Why do you think that players are willing to take less money to be on a better team than take more money to build their team up?
They take less money because it ain't really all about money. If you're a ball player, you would do it for the love of the sport. You wouldn't do it for no money, you know. So people be like, man, I'll just play basketball because I love it. But money is a reward at the end of the day. You show your talent, it's a reward at the end of the day. So that's why they do it.
Reporting from FSM News, this is Brian Jones.
Well, that's our show for today. Check us out next week for more FSM News.
But what if we can't wait until then? I'm
glad you asked. Viewers can also check us out on Facebook, search FSM News.
And don't forget, you can also find us on ABC7 Chicago's website in the community section.
You can also check us out on CAN TV, channels 19 and 27.
3,
2,
1, that's a wrap.
Thanks, India.
Can we go somewhere else?
That was a I'm sorry.
Stop drinking diet.
No, something flew in my mouth, Professor.
Stop drinking.
Did you know that there are a lot of big-name NBA free agents?
For some, wait. Spell your name.
My name is Lindell Connor, L-I-N-D-E-E. I spell my own name. L-I-N-D-E-L-L.
3,
2,
1, that's a wrap.
Free Spirit Media cultivates diverse youth voices to transform media and society.